AlJazeera and ignition of the Taurus rocket with glory, monitoring how changes in Earth climate may affect our lives.
And we'll see how that was as good as it got for NASA's latest rocket launch.
As the hot spell extends across the Gulf, we'll still make sure you feel refreshed.
Welcome back. We are going to start with what is happening across New Zealand for the recovery and the relief efforts there, especially the cleanup that needs to be going on. From this weekend on, we are going to be seeing more rain showers coming into the forecast. Unfortunately, Friday was a very good day. We had some sunny conditions, but heavy rain showers are going to be coming in from the south. As you can see here, a frontal boundary is going to be pushing through. That's going to be coming in on Saturday night. Sunday is going to be raining most of the day. Looks like we will get a break as we go into Monday, maybe even into Tuesday. Across the United States, well, a very, very active system is going to be a problem as we make our way towards Saturday. You really can't see it on the satellite image, but it is beginning to start. You can see right here these clouds that are beginning to build. Well, that's the system we're going to be talking about. Very heavy rain showers up along the seaboard, as you can see, all the way from Dallas going towards Atlanta, Washington, as well as New York. We could be seeing anywhere from 100 to 150 millimeters of rain. But where the biggest problem is going to be is up here towards Quebec. Very heavy snowfall, anywhere from 400 millimeters are going to be a problem there. And also out toward the west, we are looking at some snow anywhere from Vancouver down towards Seattle. Also, for parts of South America, we are looking at still very heavy rain showers across southern parts of Brazil. This has been a problem there. We are also going to be seeing some very heavy rain showers up to the northeastern part of Peru, where localized flooding is a problem. In Bolivia, will finally have a break in their rain.
Qatar Airways, world's 5-star airline.
An uprising on the streets, showing no sign of relenting. Protesters united in their defiance of the regime. As demonstrations continued for a third week, President Mubarak remained unmoved. But how much longer could he ignore the demands of his people and hold on to power? In a day-by-day account, we look at the events that changed Egypt, from those that witnessed them firsthand. Fall of Mubarak, at this time on Al Jazeera.
Hello again, live from Doha. This is Al Jazeera. Our top stories this hour. In Libya, protesters gather in the eastern city of Benghazi for Friday prayers. Thousands of people continue to demand that President Gaddafi leaves. Ongoing unrest has forced thousands to flee the country. Aid agencies are calling the mass exodus a humanitarian crisis. Friday prayers across the Arab world are being accompanied by more protests, including in Egypt. Egypt's new Prime Minister Essam Sharaf has been addressing the crowd alongside a senior member of the Muslim Brotherhood. The Prime Minister told the crowd in Tahrir Square that he'll work hard to realize their demands, and if he can't, he'll step down.
I take my goals from you, and I promise you, if I cannot fulfill those objectives, I will come and join you as a protester.
In Baghdad, Iraqis calling for improved services, better pay, and an end to corruption. Many had walked a long way to get to the capital's Tahrir Square. The government had banned car access to try to keep numbers low. In northern Yemen, it's reported that at least 2 people have been killed and another 7 wounded. Shia Muslims say that the military fired rockets at anti-government protests in Amran province. There have also been protests in the capital, Sana'a. And in Tunisia, where an uprising led to the ousting of the president in January, the caretaker prime minister has been giving his first speech.
I believe that the new Tunisian government, which is God's willing, will be formed in 2 days' time with the approval of the president of the state. It will be a government that considered its role to bear the responsibility of that heavy burden, but willingly, in order to work together for the sake of the country and its progress day after day.
All right, let's move away from the Middle East for a few minutes and take in what's happening elsewhere in the world. Islanders in Taiwan say that they feel threatened by China's plan to boost defense spending by some 13%. Beijing emphasizes that it's not a threat to anyone, but islanders on Taiwan are calling on the United States to sell more weapons. Japan and the Philippines are among other countries alarmed also at Chinese warships near their coasts.
Since the NPC session has not yet formally opened, if it's approved by the upcoming session, the defense budget for the year 2011 will be around 601.1 billion yuan.
Gary Lai is a research assistant for Chinese defense and diplomacy at the International Institute for Strategic Studies. He joins us now live from London. Thanks for being with us. Most other nations are decreasing their defense budgets at the moment. What do you make of China's 12.7% increase? I mean, is it alarmist to call it provocative?
I think we need to take things into perspective here. I think the 12.7 increase is actually more or less the standard rate of increase China has adopted since 2000. The only difference is that last year, during the economic recession, where China was really feeling the bite, they decided to lower the increase to 10%. So this is really getting back to a normal kind of level of development for the PLA.
There are people who believe that what China says publicly about its defense spending isn't what happens in reality. In effect, the spending is much, much more. Where do you stand on that?
Yeah, no, I do believe that, there will be other elements in the Chinese budget that ought to be included in the published budget. But then having said that, many militaries have also side budgets as well for military R&D or civilian integrated technologies. So it's not just China who has this so-called secret budget. But even having said that, even though if you factor in this alleged 1/3 or 1/2 more budget than they actually declared, China's budget is still significantly lower than many Western nations, and especially the United States.
Does the fact that China is spending more than other countries, I know you said its spending is less than the United States in particular, but compared to other countries in the region, it's spending much, much more. We heard about Taiwanese unease. I mean, it's not exactly helpful, is it, with long unresolved disputes with Taiwan and also with Japan?
Yes, no, I think I appreciate that it might look very, very bad on the outset and very alarmist for such a massive military budget hike. But you have to realize that China has to bridge quite a lot of very severe capability gaps in terms of matching its neighbors, especially the United States. I don't think China really realistically has any of the other nations in mind when they're building up the military in this way. And the problem with Taiwan is you can't really compare the budget between Taiwan and China on a one-to-one basis. Taiwan's whole objective is to try to get US support in case of a military conflict with the mainland. So therefore, the Taiwanese alarm about Chinese military budget you could sort of argue that the Taiwanese are using this as an opportunity to obtain more arms sales from the United States.
Thanks for that, Gary. Gary Lai, live in London.